Investing is about making informed decisions with your capital to build sustainable wealth. Instead of working for money, your money works for you. Think of it like planting a garden. You carefully select and plant the seeds, and over time, they grow into something much larger than what you started with. Building wealth takes time, effort, and discipline. If it were easy, everyone would do it. The key is starting early and staying consistent. Just like training for a marathon, it's not about sprinting, it's about maintaining a steady pace over the long run. Where you store your wealth matters. Think of investments like different types of vehicles for your money's journey. Some are like reliable sedans, bonds, steady and predictable. Others are like sports cars or stocks, faster growth potential, but a bumpier ride. Then you have your fleet management services, ETFs and mutual funds. Professionally maintained vehicles that can take you where you want to go with a less hands-on effort. The key is choosing the right vehicle for your journey. These three principles have guided successful investors for generations and are a core foundation for our first episode of Finance 101, the basics of investing. In this episode, we'll explore the different vehicles of investing like cash, stocks, and bonds, and how they are used to achieve financial goals. Let's look into the details of cash. While it might not seem like an investment, how you manage your cash matters tremendously. Instead of letting it sit in a regular checking account earning virtually nothing, consider a high-yield savings account. These accounts offer higher interest rates, allowing your money to grow through the power of compound interest. Why does this matter? Because interest rates and inflation are in a constant dance. In times of inflation, the purchasing power of cash decreases. A checking account offering 0% interest means your money is actually losing value as inflation rises. A high-yield savings account can help combat this effect. Next, let's talk about fixed income, or what most people know as bonds. You can think of bonds as IOUs. You're essentially lending money to companies or governments. In return, they promise to pay you a regular interest and return your principal when the bond matures. The benefits? You get regular income through interest payments, lower risk compared to stocks, and predictable returns if you hold until maturity. But there are trade-offs. Typically lower potential returns in stocks, vulnerability to rising interest rates, and less opportunity for significant growth. Moving on to equities, or ownership in companies. The most common form is stocks, where you're buying actual shares of ownership in a company. When you own stocks, you benefit from both the company's growth through share price increases and any dividends they might pay out. With stocks, you're looking at higher potential returns and true ownership in the company, plus possible dividend income. However, they come with higher risk and volatility, and there's no guarantee of returns. Companies can and do sometimes fail. Now, let's discuss two tools for diversification: mutual funds and ETFs, or exchange-traded funds. Mutual funds pool money from many investors to create a diversified portfolio, managed by professionals. When you buy mutual fund shares, you're getting a slice of that entire portfolio. The advantages are professional management, built-in diversification, and ease of use. The main drawbacks? Higher fees and expenses, less trading flexibility compared to ETFs, and potentially lower returns than individual stocks. Finally, ETFs combine features of both mutual funds and stocks. Like mutual funds, each share holds an entire portfolio, but they trade on exchanges just like stocks. They can track indexes, sectors, or asset classes, offering instant diversification. The benefits include diversification within a single investment, generally lower cost than mutual funds, and the flexibility to trade throughout the day. The main considerations are market fluctuations and potential trading costs. That concludes the basics of investing. If you'd like to learn about long-term versus short-term strategies, just click the card on your screen. And if you have any questions for our team, feel free to reach out to us. Thanks for listening.